The daylight quarantine. My name is Liam. I'm a forest ranger stationed in the remote, deep valleys of the Cascade Mountains in Washington state. My job is usually quiet, monitoring wildfires, clearing trails, and rescuing lost hikers. I'm used to the isolation. But 3 days ago, the United States government placed our entire sector under an unannounced, indefinite quarantine. And they didn't do it to protect us from a virus. They did it because something has taken over the daylight. It started on a Tuesday at exactly 2:15 p.m. I was sitting in my wooden ranger tower, drinking coffee, looking out over miles of dense pine forest. Suddenly, the emergency broadcast system on my weather radio screamed to life. The sharp, piercing alarm cut through the silence. This is an emergency action notification. A severe atmospheric anomaly has been detected over the Cascade region. All citizens must immediately retreat indoors. Seal all windows. Do not look directly at the sky. If you hear someone screaming for help outside after the light changes, do not open your doors. They are already gone. I frowned, stepping out onto the tower's wooden balcony. The sky looked perfectly normal, a clear, brilliant blue with a few scattered clouds. But within 5 minutes, the air pressure violently dropped. My ears popped, and a freezing metallic wind rushed through the trees. Then the sun changed. The bright natural sunlight slowly faded, shifting into a sickening unnatural neon yellow hue. It wasn't the warm glow of a sunset. It was a harsh, chemical glare that made the shadows cast by the trees look inverted and twisted. The entire forest fell dead silent. No birds, no insects, no wind, just a suffocating heavy quiet. Suddenly my satellite phone buzzed. It was a text from Marcus, another ranger stationed at Tower 4, about 5 miles deeper into the ridge. The text read, "Do not look at the trees. The yellow light, it melts their faces. If you see me walking toward your tower, don't let me in. It's not me anymore." My heart hammered violently against my ribs. I immediately retreated inside the tower, slamming the heavy wooden door and locking it with 3 separate deadbolts. I pulled the thick canvas curtains over the glass windows, plunging the room into darkness, lit only by the eerie yellow light bleeding through the cracks. At 2:45 p.m., the silence was shattered. From the bottom of my tower's long wooden staircase, I heard the sound of heavy, dragging footsteps. Thump, thump, thump. Someone was climbing the stairs. I grabbed my hunting rifle, my knuckles turning white, my breath catching in my throat. The footsteps stopped right outside my door. Then came 3 slow, heavy raps. Knock, knock, knock. "Liam, man, open up, it's Marcus." The voice was loud, desperate, and trembling with panic. It was Marcus's voice. Exactly his pitch, his frantic breathing, his frantic tone. "Liam, please." The wind caught me out on the ridge. The yellow light, it burns, man. My skin is blistering. Just unlock the door, please. Let me in. Every human instinct screamed at me to unlock the door and save my friend. I took a step forward, my hand hovering inches from the lock. But then, I remembered the text message Marcus had sent me just 20 minutes ago. "If you see me walking toward your tower, don't let me in." I froze. I pressed my ear against the cold wood of the door, listening closely. "Marcus?" I called out, my voice shaking. "Prove it's you. What's the call sign for Tower 4? No answer. Just the sound of heavy, ragged breathing. I waited. When I didn't open the door, the frantic crying outside stopped instantly. The panic vanished, replaced by a cold, dead silence. Then the voice spoke again. It was still Marcus's voice, but the emotion was completely gone. It was slowed down, hollow, and mechanical. "Liam, you're not opening the door. That's a violation of protocol." Suddenly, the wind howled outside, and a part of the curtain slipped, exposing a small corner of the window. I couldn't stop myself. I looked. Standing on the balcony, bathed in the sickening neon yellow light, was a figure wearing Marcus's ranger uniform. But above the collar, his head was horribly elongated. His face was a smooth, featureless mass of melting pale gray flesh. He had no eyes, no nose, no mouth, just a blank canvas of skin. Yet from somewhere deep inside that hollow torso, my friend's voice began to laugh. It was a distorted, glitched laugh like a skipping audio track. "Ha ha, ha. Liam, look at the sky. It's beautiful. Look at the sky." The creature violently threw its weight against the door. Bang, bang, bang. The wooden door groaned under the immense pressure. I screamed, backing away into the corner of the room, raising my rifle. The psychological torture was unbearable. The thing wasn't just trying to break in, it was trying to make me look outside. Every few minutes the voice outside would shift. "Liam, honey, open the door, it's Mom," it whispered, perfectly mimicking my mother's voice. "Liam, please help me, I'm lost," it cried, using the voice of a little girl. It was cycling through every human frequency it had stolen from the valley. I squeezed my eyes shut, holding my hands over my ears, screaming into my knees to drown out the voices. The digital clock on my desk read 2:55 p.m. The quarantine protocol said the anomaly would pass after 45 minutes. Just 5 more minutes. At exactly 3 p.m., everything stopped. The banging ceased. The sickening yellow glow bleeding through the curtains instantly vanished, replaced by the bright, natural white sunlight. The suffocating pressure in the air lifted, and I could hear the wind rustling through the pines again. I let out a massive sob of relief, collapsing onto the floor. I had survived. The clock now read 3:02 p.m. Trembling and covered in cold sweat, I stumbled into the small bathroom at the back of the tower to wash my face. I turned on the faucet, splashed the freezing water over my eyes, and grabbed a towel. As I wiped my face, I looked up into the bathroom mirror. My heart completely stopped. My body went entirely numb, and the towel slipped from my limp fingers. The reflection looking back at me had my ranger uniform, my hair, and my watch. In its place was a smooth, featureless mass of pale, gray, melting skin. I tried to scream, but I had no mouth. Suddenly, from the other side of the glass, the reflection raised its hand and touched the mirror. A wide, jagged mouth ripped open across the smooth flesh, revealing rows of sharp, needle-like teeth. It smiled and spoke in my perfect original voice. "Thanks for keeping me company, Liam. The daylight belongs to us now." I realized too late. The anomaly hadn't ended at 3 p.m. The entity had glitched the digital clock on my desk. It was only 2:55 p.m. when I let my guard down and opened my eyes inside the room. And now I am the one trapped on the other side of the glass, looking out into a world that no longer belongs to me, while a faceless thing wears my badge, out in the sun.